Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Monday. It is May 19th. It's 2025. Look at that tree. I am back here at Fayette Square. We stopped here last night after having dinner with our friends. My sister said something that clicked in my head that for the castle, she's doing Women of Owasso, and she's doing veterans, but there's Civil War soldiers. And I happen to remember when I was out here seeing the G.I. Joe, the girl, not that she was a veteran that fought, but I think she should still be part of the women's exhibit. So she is, I don't know if you can see her, way down there. Oh, no, she bent down on the corner. And we were out here in the dark last night. And so we're running around. We did that. And then she starts talking about some rock on, what was it, Michigan Avenue, I think. And it's now in the front. And she goes, I think they moved it when they built Tim Hortons. And so we're driving by in the dark, and we get, what street did we come up? I think Genesee. And we took that, and I seen the train lights were on, and I've been trying to get a video of a train coming around the curve, like a whole train video. My sister Darlene loves train videos, and I've been putting them on another page. And oh, their brick is crumbling right there. That's terrible. Their plants are gorgeous. Oh, there's a planter inside the planter. And they have a food pantry too. We can scope in on that. And so we go in the side, like the lights at the train were dinging weird. And so, but there was no train, and we waited 10 minutes before. And there's a little blue sign on the crossing that has a phone number. And so I got out and I videotaped the lights. So I have like a 2-minute video on one of my pages of these lights dinging. And called the number. The first time I got nothing, but I've been having some phone issues. Had them today too. I couldn't call anybody. A friend of mine, David, called this afternoon, and I'm like, well, hey, it works. But my ringtone changed. I don't know if that's part of that system update. But so I called the number, and I gave them. So it's like a 1-800 number, and then there's a little blue box or white box on the blue sign, and it has like the crossing number. And I want to say it was 00349X. And that is 52 at Cass Street, so to speak. It's not quite Cass Street, but so I called it, and the gentleman was very nice, and he goes, well, we have trains in the area. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's that time of night. We get a lot of trains through there. And I says, we heard a whistle, but we haven't seen anything since. And he goes, all right, well, I'm going to call. Well, we waited about another 10 minutes. And the lights were still going. I don't know when the lights got shut off. Ran over a water bottle out there. I'm assuming this is a wheelchair ramp. We can check it out. Look, oh, here. Yeah, almost missed this. Can't right. I think that's part of the church though. But it eventually got shut off. Oh no. Maybe it just keeps going. Yeah, it goes down to a door. There's Denise down there. And so, if you come up to a railroad crossing and there's something wrong, there is a little blue sign on the crossing that gives you the crossing number and the phone number. Call that phone number, give them that crossing number, and they will be able to fix it. That is weird. So we did exactly that, and we called the number, and It got fixed by morning. That's all I can tell you. I don't know how long it took because it was 10 o'clock when we left. So we had an adventure last night. We do love our trains here in Owasso. I do complain occasionally because they come through at night. And I live so close. And I grew up. You got to remember, I grew up. I showed you in one video along the railroad tracks. And it was nothing like this. And we're quite a few blocks away. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks away. But you can feel the vibration. And Denise mentioned, because we'd gone out for tacos. You know me, I'm always up for tacos. Denise is like, well, didn't we just have a train derailment here? And I'm like, yes, we've had several in the last couple years right there. And I said, I tried to video either last Monday or the week before, I can't remember. And I said, you see a spot where the train kind of dips a little bit. But that isn't where the derailment was, so I don't know. But I wanted to tell you, so that was my adventures last night. Been working this morning. Nearly froze to death last night. It was so cold. I had to get out my blanket, like my heavy winter comforter again. So that was last night's adventure, but I got some of my photos cleaned out for more room on my phone. And then I wanted to give you your daily update, as I call them. So today is May 19th, and today is May Ray Day. It's to encourage you to go out, enjoy the sunshine. We actually have some today, and if you get a chance, go out and enjoy it, because it's going to be rainy and cold. Like, it's only supposed to be 54 on Wednesday, and it's going to feel like it's in the 40s. I'm probably going to have to get out my winter coat just for Wednesday, and I got to be to work a little early on Thursday, so I don't know how that works. But little history lesson. We're up here at the corner of North Washington and Oliver Street now. On this day in 1643, when I say this, I'm using the words they use: Massachusetts Bay, Plymouth, Connecticut, and they form the United Colonies of New England. So I'm assuming when people talk about New England, that's what they're talking about. And then on this day in 1749, King George II grants a charter to the Ohio Company to settle the Ohio Valley, which includes the area of Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia was already a state. Well, not a state because we weren't United States, but Virginia was already, kind of settled. But it's the part of Virginia that is now considered West Virginia, which, didn't come West Virginia until the Civil War. And then in 1780, New England went dark from Canadian fires, just like happened in 2023, which I don't know about you, but it nearly killed me, those fires. I ended up with pneumonia twice. Once was really bad. It was Kerwood weekend, and I got sick the Saturday of Kerwood. And actually that's what ended up, between all of that, discovering, because they just kept putting me on more steroids, and that's when it was shortly thereafter I became a diabetic, because steroids are not good for you. And in 1883, Buffalo Bill Wild West show opens in Omaha, Nebraska, and a year later, I don't know the city, the Ringling Brothers started. But on this day in 1897, Frank Luke Jr. was born. He would go on to receive the very first Medal of Honor for a pilot in World War One. You don't think of World War One in airplanes, really. You know, World War II had them, but you don't think of World War One. And then in 1898, Congress passed the Private Mailing Card Act, which created the souvenir postcards. Like, you could come get a postcard. I don't know if there is one at Fayette Square, but you could maybe find one. Heck, today you can take a picture of one and make your own souvenir postcard and mail it. See, just look how much, look at that tree, how much progress we've made. Also, on this day in 1926, RCA creates the National Broadcast System, which we now know, well, no, it used to be NBC, is now basically Peacock. And here's one near and dear to my Aunt Susie's heart. 1977, Smokey and the Bandit premieres. And then we all know the Jerry Reed song. Eastbound and down, loaded up and truckin'. We gonna do what they say can't be done. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound and watch old Bandit run. My sister Darlene, every time she saw a black Trans Am, especially one with an eagle on it, she kissed it. Back in the day. My Aunt Susie loves Burt Reynolds. Like, personally, I like the second movie because it had my man Terry Bradshaw in it. And I love Terry Bradshaw. And then, on this day in 1979, the Village People went to number 3 on the charts. And I don't think it went higher than this. With their song In the Navy. And we all know that. In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas. In the Navy, yes, you can put your mind at ease. Not the best. Everybody knows Macho Man's the best. But, you know, I don't know when Macho Man, when I find out, that'll be in another video. And I think with my friends who are doing these videos, I'm going to end next week in, you know, because we're doing the month of May. Look at this. I wonder if that's normal. Like, I don't know. But it's all the way up. I don't see no pine cones. Must that be? Oh, there's a little tiny one, right? Nope, that's a helicopter. So a few of us are doing this, and it's called Positive You. And we take pictures of ourselves and we post them on Instagram. And we say positive things like, let's get our day started. I got stuck in traffic last week. And I'm like, look at that stained glass. That's gorgeous. Anyway, I got stuck in traffic. And I mean stuck. Like, we were not moving. And I sitting there and I took a picture of the radio, which had a Duran Duran song on, because I'm an 80s girl who loves her Duran Duran. And I did the post, you know. My 45-minute drive to work took me an hour and 45 minutes. But you could let that ruin your day, or you can have fun with it, you know. And that's what I did. I had fun with it. Oh, come over here. We can see this down here better. So we started this. Actually, they started it, I think, a year or two ago. A couple of girls. And it's mainly for girls. But you know what, guys? If you want to do it, do it. But women tend to be harder on themselves than anybody else's. Yeah, so see, there's their handicap entrance. Okay. Oh, that's nice. So I decided to join this after some persuasion from some people in Lansing to do it around my birthday. And so I started taking pictures. They were occasional. I'm doing a little more now. And then I take a picture. So usually at the beginning of the day. A couple of them been at the end of the day when we had really high humidity, which I'm actually wearing a coat today. And here's what my days was like. But generally it's, here's how my day is going to be. And one of the girls in the group said, I think we should make a positive video and post them. Well, great idea, except for Facebook is deleting videos. So they're telling you to download your videos, which I come across a video. My cousins, Hannah and Noah and I, up at Mount Pleasant at my cousin Bonnie's house, and her husband Ken had a Christmas tree farm, and he'd throw the like dead trees and stuff, and he told Noah it was Bigfoot's house, and we went searching for Bigfoot. I've been looking for that video, and I found it on Facebook, and so I downloaded it and I uploaded it onto YouTube. So I've been doing some of that, like I said, cleaning out pictures, downloading those. So I decided to upload my stuff to YouTube. I haven't really shared it on Facebook. I've been doing the weekly video, but it, it's something you could do. Start out slow. If maybe you just want to do the pictures. I may continue this because I'm enjoying doing this part. I'll be filming Course Kerwood Festival, etc., etc. But this, I may, once this is done, I may go to doing my day. Like at the end of the day, here was my day. Like, last night's adventures. We went to Lois Trace. I think her name's Gabrielle, or Gabriella was our waitress. And there's this guy, and I don't know his name either. He actually jumped in my photo for my birthday. Just like, they're great people. That's why we go out there a couple of times a week. If you have to have good staff, and that's important. But I'm going to wind up here seeing we're just days from Memorial Day. And you know how I feel about that. That's Decoration Day. I want to end over here. And with the World War II, hey, maybe we can catch us a little better. I don't want my shadow on there. Yeah, you see my shadow. So with that, I hope you all had a blessed day. I hope tomorrow's even better for you. And we will talk again.